Gene Stewart Video Productions and Channel 6 Television take you to Pioneer Country. Stay tuned now as we bring you video footage from this past week's game with analysis and commentary from the coaches. Batesville Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by Eastman Chemical Company. Good luck, Pioneers. Sears of Batesville, appliances, electronics, lawn, garden, and craftsman tools. Citizens Bank celebrating 50 years. Lakeside Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003. Medical Park Orthopedic Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Angel and Dr. J.D. Allen. Midwest Lime, we support the Pioneers. Kosnick Incorporated and Coleman Dairy, Scott Kosnick and Vicki Mosier. And State Representative Cheney and Leah Taylor and Madison.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003, Beller Dental Clinic, Doctors Bill and Chris Beller, offering general dentistry. New patients welcome. Wholesale Tire, passenger, truck, and commercial tires. Williams Equipment Company, your local full-line John Deere dealer. And Five Star Communications, an authorized agent of Singular Wireless.
Go Pioneers!
Also sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Bryant's Pharmacy, your complete health care center for prescription and medical equipment needs. Carpet Corner, featuring Mohawk carpets, Armstrong vinyls, and Benjamin Moore paints. Fred's Fish House and Catering, Randy Ward. And Dairy Queen of Batesville, Paul and Sharon Strecker.
And a very pleasant good evening as we welcome you to this edition of Pioneer Football 2003. I'm Mark Lamberth along with head coach Dave King and assistant coach Stu Smith. Pioneers were at home Friday night in the midst of a three-game homestand as the Morrilton Devil Dogs came to town. Pioneers came away with a 27-6 victory, and coaches, it wasn't perfect, but it was a victory.
No, it wasn't perfect, but at times, we've talked about this as coach, when you have super high expectations, a lot of times you're not going to play up your expectations, but at the same time, I think high expectations leads to good results, and we've got real high expectations for this football team on both sides of the ball, special teams included, and we had some breakdowns Friday night, but boy, our kids played really hard. I thought we played really good defense again for the second week in a row, and really third week in a row, and offensively, when we clicked well and threw the ball. I think Kyle was about 12 out of 16 for 160 yards. And Timmy ran well for the second time in a row, and just had some breakdowns that we're going to get corrected before we go into district.
Stuart, speaking of the defense, they were placed in a difficult position a couple of times. They came out and held and really kind of sparked the offense, didn't they?
Yeah, it's easy to play defense when the other team's got 80 yards to go sometimes, but we want our defensive guys to accept the challenge whenever they are given a short field like that, and I was really proud of them that they stepped it up and got after it when our backs were to the wall there.
We'll be back with first half action right after these messages.
Batesville Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by Batesville Cold Storage, serving the Batesville area for 10 years. Independence Ford Mercury, sales, leasing, service, and parts. White River Insurance Agency, a tradition of insurance excellence since 1953. And Batesville Glass, commercial, residential, and auto.
Also sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Townsend's, pleased to support Pioneer Football. Autry's White River Furniture Company, we love customers. ConAgra, working hard to become America's favorite food company. And Stanley Wood Chevrolet Pontiac, Scott Wood Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003, Settles Cleaners, let us do your dirty work. GDX Automotive, go Pioneers. Mazzio's Pizza, try our lunch buffet, 11 to 2 every day. WRMC Pros, proud to provide professional sports medicine services to the BHS Athletic Department. And Charlie's Menswear, largest selection of jeans in the area. Shop us for quality selection at quality prices.
And also sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Independence County Abstract Company, Glendale McMullen and Cynthia Nicholson, serving the people of Independence County for over 60 years. Kelly White's Restaurant, buffets every day at lunch and Friday and Saturday nights. Van Atkins, your locally owned family department store, proudly serving the Batesville area for over 50 years.
Pioneer Football 2003 also brought to you by White Rogers and Emerson Climate Technologies Company. Sonic Drive-In Family Night Special, 1/2 price single patty burgers, 5 to close, Tuesdays at 715 St. Louis Street and 2950 Harrison. Also, Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by the VFW, Post 4501, Batesville.
And sponsoring Batesville Pioneer Football 2003, Thompson's Jewelry, downtown Batesville. Quality jewelry since 1924 at Thompson's. Wildwood Independent Living Center, where senior citizens can live in comfortable surroundings while maintaining their independence. Riverside Mobile Homes at the top of Ramsey Mountain, family owned and operated since 1989. Nora's Boutique and Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio, for more than the ordinary. And by First Community Bank, the cornerstone of our community.
Welcome back to Pioneer Football. Another great crowd Friday night, Coach King.
Really was, and they got into it pretty good. I heard several oohs and ahs on some big hits, and had some really big hits defensively and offensively as well, and heard the crowd get into it several times. That really helps our kids, and we'll need them this week with a big one coming up with Bologna.
Pioneers won the toss and elected to take the option in the second half, so the Pioneers will kick off.
Got James Neal teeing the ball up here. Also have Scott Wycliffe and Mason Reeves in the game, who are possible kickers. And Scott's going to come across and kick this ball down the right hash. It's going to bound up to around the 10-yard line. Morrilton's going to try to return it down their sideline, and the guy bounces outside there and comes back inside, and it's finally wrapped up and dropped there. Tyler Pruitt on the tackle with help from James Neal. Raleigh Thomas also in there. Morrilton coming out in a spread offense. One back set, quarterback in the gun. They try to run a little counter, and Ricky Richardson does a good job stepping up and dropping him for a loss there, or excuse me, short gain along with Cornelius Strickland. Second down now, and they come out and run a little swing pass, and Lamarcus Tucker right there hits him, but he bounds away and cuts back to the middle of the field before Hunter Platt grabs him, brings him down. That's just the case where we needed to wrap up. Had the guy for a loss there, and they bound out and get the first down. Come with the quad set to the top of the screen here out of the shotgun, and quarterback's going to try to run a little counter, and he's going to be brought down there by Jarrett Ramey. Lamarcus Tucker also there for little or no gain. It's going to be second down now and around 10. Again, they're in a naked gun here with no back in the backfield. Trips to the left, twins down to the bottom of the screen, and going to flag there, and it's going to be against them. That's going to back them up and give them a 2nd and 15.
Morrilton has a new coach, and they run this spread offense, don't they, Coach Smith?
Yeah, they do. This is the first year that they've ran it, so they're getting accustomed to this offense. And right there, we get good pressure and a good lick there from Lamarcus Tucker, but they complete the pass and get a big first down across the 50 before Marcus Sanchez is able to run the receiver out of bounds. Come back now, and they bring actually a tight end this time to get a little bit of maximum protection. He steps up and tries to throw a little short screen or dump, and Jarrett Ramey does a great job pursuing from his tackle position to bring the man down with Hunter Platt coming up and assisting on the tackle. That gives them another first down. Right here, they're moving the ball on us a little bit, and we're flying around well to the ball, though, and they come back and try to run a counter again, and he slips a few tackles there. Kyle McMullen made first contact, but he got loose before Antonio McCoy was able to bring him down with help from Weldon Davis. They come back here and run a little tight sweep, and again, big yardage there on him before Tim Childress is able to bring him down with help from Lamarcus Tucker.
I thought this was actually Morrilton's best drive of the night.
As it turned out, it really was. And there again, they try to run a counter, and Kyle McMullen wraps him up over there, and he gets help from the secondary from Hunter Platt, 2 sophomores there making that tackle. Trip set down to the bottom now, twins to the right, the naked gun. And good pressure from the outside by James Neal, another sophomore, who comes in and drops him for a loss before he gets help from the interior of the line there. Clark Baker there, Jarrett Ramey, Ricky Richardson. Again, twins to the right, trips up to the top of the screen, and he's going to get a short roll and throw the ball out here, and overthrows his receiver. Good coverage there by Lamarcus Tucker in the flats. Again, they're in a trip set here to the bottom, twins right. Again, naked gun. We call it a naked gun if there's no back there, just the shotgun with the quarterback. Sounds sort of like a movie, I guess. Again, same formation. They saw that we were playing some man out there against them, and they wanted to regroup and call a different play, and we get heat from Antonio McCoy from the outside, and he steps up and overthrows his man. Good coverage out there by Patrick Smith, and that was a 4th down, and we're going to take over the football.
Great defensive stand down at our end of the field. Turns the ball over to us, and we're going to have a good drive for our first possession. Come out and the gun. We'll see how they were going to react to the gun. Kyle checking here at the line. We had a check with me play. He can call 2 or 3 different plays. Here we come out and going to run the counter play out of the shotgun to Antonio. He takes it out for about a 4-yard gain. Brings up about a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. Quick motion from our flanker, Cornelius Strickland. He gets outside with a good block from Daniel Griffith, getting his first start at fullback. Had some injuries here to Lewis Canada, and boy, Daniel came in and did a great job. There he goes in motion. Come back and run the inside zone, and for a short gain, about a yard and a half. Brings up about a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 8 and a half. We're going to be in the gun again. We call Rex gun. We're going to run the 38 crack sweep. Get outside, and Tino just gets tripped up there. Makes about a yard. Brings up a 3rd and 8. We're going to be in double twins. We call a Lobo gun. We're going to run 60 read. Kyle sight reads this and picks the side he'd like to throw to. Tino breaks inside, and Kyle throws a bullet in there. And Tino makes a nice catch downfield and a good run for about 38 yards.
Boy, you throw it like that, Coach, it's almost unstoppable.
It's almost stuck in his face mask. Come right back, going to run the bounce, the stretch. Make about 2. Tim Childress now, and we're very fortunate to have 2 outstanding tailbacks this year, Tim Childress and Antonio. Coming back off a slight injury last week. I thought he ran well. Come out here, roll out, little 3 void. Nice catch there by senior wideout Patrick Smith. Good protection. Thought our line is coming on. Really doing a good job coming on their pass blocking and our run blocking. Gives us a 1st and 10. We're going to run the pitch for a 6-yard gain. Get down close to pay dirt now. It's been a 10-play drive, 8-play drive actually at this point. We're going to be in left twins. Run a little flick motion. That stands for fullback quick. Run the counter. Timmy cuts up inside for about 2. And a 3rd down is short. We're going to run a little play action here. Kyle gets on the perimeter. We actually had a penalty called on Morrilton for holding downfield, but the reason they waved it off is because the ball was not thrown. It was a pass interference, and we didn't throw the ball. We run 139F pick here. Got our fullback open and just overthrows Daniel out in the flat. We're going to come up here in a pro set with a weak slide. Don't see it real good on this film, but this is an outstanding catch. 1-step fade route to Patrick, and boy, he makes a great catch in the corner of the end zone there. And that's, again, I've said a lot of times, we've got a lot of quality seniors on this team, and the difference is when seniors rise up and make plays like that. Just a great catch and a good throw by Kyle. Extra point, snap by Bo Gould and his friends down in there. We'll get a good hold and puts his head 7-0.
James Neal's going to boot this one, and he's going to take it down inside the 15-yard line. They're going to try to bring it across the field, and it's wrapped up there by again James Neal there in the tackle. Tyler Pruitt again, and a host of other players, Raleigh Thomas, Hunter Platt, James Walden. They come back and try to run that little sweep again, and he cuts it back up against the grain, and we're going to swarm to the football. There's Hunter Platt up there again, along with Kyle McMullen, Jarrett Ramey on the tackle. Again, they're operating out of the shotgun. He's going to go deep on us here, and Patrick Smith with pretty good coverage there. Got turned around a little at first, but did a good job making up the ground, and it falls incomplete. It's going to give them a 3rd down here in about 6.5 to 7 yards. Again, out of the gun. I'm going to get good heat. Good job getting hands up there and by Timmy, and he's going to throw it out in the flats, and we're going to converge on him out there.
Had a clip called against him there, Coach, on the flats.
Yes, and they got a penalty there. As I think Cornelius Strickland got clipped out there, so it's going to negate the 1st down and bring the ball back and give them a 3rd down now and about 8 yards to go. And that is going to, I believe, be the end of the 1st quarter, a quick 1st quarter.
Only 3 possessions in that 1st quarter.
That's right. Getting naked gunner. Ooh, Jarrett Ramey really plants their quarterback there, coming free up the middle, and Clark Baker is dropping back and spying on the middle screens. And the tunnels this week did a good job nailing their receiver coming across, and it's going to force them to punt. And you see they've got a spread punt formation as well. Really dangerous. We've got to watch for the fakes against something like that. So we spread out and covered them, and Timmy Childress is going to take the ball there, get a couple of good blocks, and break down the sideline up across into Morrilton territory.
Great field position. Our special team setting us up on our side. That's what we like. We're going to go a little Rex gun fly, sprint out to the weak side. We don't block quite aggressive enough out there. We have a little seepage through. Kyle has to pull up and try and hit that 3 route on the sideline, and basically threw the ball away. Incomplete pass. We come up here in right twitch, and they're in straight man. Nobody in the middle of the field. You see Kyle checking off here. Anytime we get that, we're going vertical on them. And we do a good job here. 1, 2, 3. Gets Patty out in the open field, and I guarantee you 99 times out of 100, that's going to be a touchdown for Pat. Gives us a 3rd down. We're in Rex gun. We're going to set up the double screen. Might be a little deep here with our backs. It was open really to either side. You see the penalty right there, illegal use of the hands. Going to bring that play back. Our linemen were out there in good position. Come back and run the counter tee. Antonio just gets caught from the backside. Didn't do a real good job staying on that us block, and that's going to bring up a 4th and long, and unfortunately the first punt snap goes over our head. Boy, that's just crucial right there. We haven't had a bad snap this year, but you can see how it excites the Morrilton crowd and gets them back in the ball game.
Morrilton gets the ball here just outside the 20, and they're going to try to run a little counter again, and boy, it is really stuffed there. Good job. Clark Baker steps up and makes initial contact and drops him there with help from the other interior lineman. Still out of the gun here, and come back, and he's looking to throw the ball out in the flats. We got it pretty well covered. We get some good pressure there from Jarrett and Ricky, and finally he's going to roll up and he's going to get dropped there by Tim Childress and Clark Baker, Ricky Richardson as well. So we'll give him a 3rd down here and long. Heat from the outside this time. Antonio McCoy brings the heat. They throw the tunnel, and Clark Baker, there's that spy right in the middle looking for that, and he's got it. Clark's excited about that. They're going to come up and try a field goal here, but they're going to fake it. The quarterback's going to set it down, pick it up, try to fake it. We've got a lot of guys around him, putting a little heat on him and causing him to throw the ball away, and we'll take over.
Stuart, I thought that defensive stand sort of set the tone for the rest of the ball game for your defense.
Well, that was really big considering the score at that time, yes.
Come up in a little twins flick. We're going to run 36 counter tee right out of the box. They were really laying on our counter tee play, and we had some effective runs and some big runs on counter tee, but really hurt them more outside. Brings up a 2nd down and about 8. We run the fake the counter, rolls out to his right, gets a good block out there from Kevin Smith. Nice throw right there from Kyle to our flanker. Cornelius Strickland, he had a big night, about 75, 80 yards in catches. Come up here on a 1st down. Get a little flick motion there and run the zone play backside for about a yard or 2. And we're going to, this time of the game, real crucial to move the ball. We've had some big stops defensively. A little more flick motion. We come back and run the counter again, backside. Gonna put us in a shotgun, 3rd down. Critical here. We just get a bad snap over our head. Kyle gets back there, does a good job getting on the ball. Don't want to lose possession of the ball, even on that crucial snap over the head. A little short snap. Jason Angel did a good job coming in snapping in the game. He's doing the deep snapping. Evan Erie, another sophomore. We had a roughing the kicker call there. Evan did a good job getting it off under pressure. Come back here and on a little double post. Kyle heaves it down there and almost hits Cornelius down deep down the middle. Come back, we're in a gun here. Going to run what we call 50 mesh. Don't pick up the backside linebacker coming. We're going to have to work real hard this week. Maloney's going to come up and send a lot of folks against us. We're going to have to work real hard versus the blitz. Sets up a 3rd and about 11. We've hurt them with counter flu a little bit, so we roll out and come back and run the counter flu screen back to our bench. Antonio's after good blocking downfield. Got Bo Gould and Andy Rogers throwing some key blocks downfield, and brings up a 4th and short. We put the big boys in there and go right at them and get about a 6-yard gain on that crucial 4th and 1 play. Come back in Con X. We'll run hammer pitch. Boy, he was open out there. Good blocking by our line. Antonio just got tripped up just as he was beginning to make his cut. Come back here, 138-3 void. It's a wide open Tad Dunlap. Tad had some good catches Friday night. Makes about 11, 12 yards. Actually 14. We're in a trips formation. One thing I did like Friday night, we had 2 or 3 drives of over 10 plays, which is, we've had some drives where we have not had to drive very far. Had some big plays, but it was nice to kids to bone up and drive the football, run the counter there, and made about 5 yards. Come back and run hammer pitch with motion from our flanker, Mason Reeves in motion there. Get a pitch, miss one block backside. We probably had a nice play there, made 1 yard. We've run stretch time or two, so we're going to come back and run the naked play off of it, naked bootleg. 136 naked. Unwelcome stranger from backside. Cornelius Strickland in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown from 14 yards out, and a good job there by our offensive line, especially the strong side holding them out. Up and through by Scott Wycliffe makes the score 14-0 up in the second quarter.
Okay, for the third time, Pioneers are going to tee it up here. Morrilton comes into this ball game 1-1. They had a win over Dardanelle last week, and they lost to 5A West Power Russellville the opening week. A short little pooch kick, and he's going to bring this ball up to near the 40-yard line, and you see that we really swarm them there with our kickoff team. Mason Reeves in there on the tackle along with several others. In there on the spread here and come back and try to run a little bit of a draw, and Ricky Richardson did a super job stepping out and coming back and making a play from his defensive tackle position. We bring a blitz on the outside from Tim Childers. Jared has him wrapped up there, barely misses him, and Tim really puts a lick on the quarterback before he throws it out in the flats over there. LaMarcus Tucker on the coverage. Again, they're going to the airways here. Tim barely misses him there, and he goes deep down the middle, or actually to the outside, and that's good coverage there by Weldon Davis and Hunter Platt and Patrick Smith in the secondary. Again, just going to force them to punt. This is their punt formation. As I said earlier, they punt out of the spread as well. This time he's going to kick one high, and we're going to let it hit. We probably need to be catching those footballs, and it's going to roll on down to around the 15-yard line.
We set up right here before the half, not much time left. We're going to be in right twins F. Little flick motion with our fullback, run 6 zone. Again, just getting tripped up there. Tino bounced to the outside for no gain. Brings up a 2nd and 10. One of the receivers had a little mix up here, didn't run the right route. You'll see Kyle look backside and there's nobody at home, so he does what he needs to do and tucks that ball and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. We're going to run the same play, except this time we're going to run the correct routes, and boy, it always helps to run things the way they're drawn up. And right here we do. Great block from Weldon Davis. Good job downfield. Clayton O'Neill. Great job pulling out there from his quick tackle position. Gained 16 yards and gives us a 1st down. Time running low here in the first half. He's kind of a high snap there. Run 6 zone. See a penalty call there. I believe that was a hold on one of our interior linemen. Backs us up a little bit. First half almost over here. We thought we might pop the zone trap. Put Tim in motion. Run a little 41 zone trap. The Marcus bounced outside, and that'll bring to end the first half of play. We score 14-0 Pioneers.
Pioneers lead it 14-0 over the Morrilton Devil Dogs. Coach, why don't you take us through the halftime and how y'all handle things at halftime, getting ready for the second half?
Well, usually the first thing we do, it depends on how the game has went. If the game has gone really well for us and the kids are real excited, we come in and try and get them to sit down, get them hydrated up. Leo Kresge, our trainer, does a good job getting Gatorade and things out. Just get all the kids kind of just calm down more than anything so the coaches can get together and talk. I take usually Coach Miller and Coach Rhodes and go in to a room or my office, and we talk about what we want to try and do the second half offensively. And Coach Smith does the same thing defensively. Usually we talk defensively first with anyone that may play defensively in the second half, make any adjustments we got to make, and then towards the end I speak to the offense. Coach Rhodes usually talks to the offensive line, and I talk to the group as a whole after we've had both meetings, trying to set the tone for the second half. The biggest thing that you want to do at halftime, you don't want to be too high or you don't want to be too down. If things haven't went as well as we'd like them, you got to have to play. And you want to come in and just let the kids know we're going to be all right no matter where we're at. I know the first week we were way up, and the biggest thing we had to do was just kind of calm everybody down. They were real giddy. And of course, last week against Searcy, it was a close, hard-fought game, and I think we were down at the half. And, just come in and kind of set the tone for the second half and try and get everybody regrouped, ready to go.
Stuart, those adjustments can be huge in the second half, particularly if there's something that the other team has done that you haven't seen, the coaches have to make some pretty quick decisions, and communication to the players is important.
Well, yes, just like the other night, we come in and before the game we'll put some goals on the board, things that we have to do, we think, to stop them offensively. And we'll look and see if we've met those goals yet the first half or not. And, a lot of times we have, or there may be one or two that we haven't done a good job of, and we'll re-emphasize that to the kids. And then we'll make any adjustments that we might have to make. The other night in this Morrilton game, they were dropping their guard and picking us off on the outside with the guard, sort of hampering our rush a little bit. So we just made a minor adjustment where we were going to act like we were coming from the outside and actually bring our outside linebacker back underneath, and which we call a Will Stack ghost stunt. So we put that in at halftime, and it helped us a lot the second half.
Pioneers lead Morrilton 14-0 at halftime. We'll be back right after these messages.
Batesville Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by Eastman Chemical Company. Good luck, Pioneers. Sears of Batesville, appliances, electronics, lawn, garden, and craftsman tools. Citizens Bank celebrating 50 years. Lakeside Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003, Medical Park Orthopedic Clinic, Dr. Jeffrey Angel and Dr. J.D. Allen. Midwest Lime, we support the Pioneers. Kosnick Incorporated and Coleman Dairy, Scott Kosnick and Vicki Mosier. And State Representative Cheney and Leah Taylor and Madison.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003, Beller Dental Clinic, Doctors Bill and Chris Beller, offering general dentistry. New patients welcome. Wholesale Tire, passenger, truck, and commercial tires. Williams Equipment Company, your local full-line John Deere dealer. And 5-Star Communications, an authorized agent of Singular Wireless.
Go Pioneers!
Also sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Bryant's Pharmacy, your complete health care center for prescription and medical equipment needs. Carpet Corner, featuring Mohawk carpets, Armstrong vinyls, and Benjamin Moore paints. Fred's Fish House and Catering, Randy Ward. And Dairy Queen of Batesville, Paul and Sharon Strecker.
Back with Pioneer Football 2003, the Pioneers will get the football to start the second half. They deferred at the beginning of the football game. And Stuart, why don't you take us through that decision?
Well, when a team wins the toss, they got 4 options. They can choose to receive the football, they can choose to kick off, they can choose to defend a goal. If you were in a game that had inclement weather, maybe in a strong wind or rain, you might be more important for you to take the win. Or the 4th option is you can defer, which means that you're going to let the other team have their choice in the first half, and you want the choice in the second half, which is usually going to be to take the football. And one of the advantages of deferring until the second half is that the only way, if you receive the football, like you won the toss and decided you would take the ball, there's a possibility at the end of the half the other team could have the football at the end of the half. They might score the last play of the half, and then when you come out the second half, they'll get the football back again, which is really the only time in a football game that one team can get 2 straight possessions. And so by deferring, you're going to make sure that you're going to get the ball to start the second half each time, regardless of who has the football at the end of the half.
Pioneers lead Morrilton 14-0 as we begin second half action.
Coach, that was a brilliant explanation, as only you can do. And
tough question.
It was a tough question, a spur-of-the-moment deal, too. Another good sideline to that is simply the fact that we don't know what the score is going to be at halftime. We know what's going to be starting the game, and we choose a lot of times to take the ball at the start of the second half. We're going to start out with good field position, short pooch kick there. We're going to run a little 36 power. They pulled a little stunt on us and got inside, and Tino breaks outside for a nice gain. They're going to call us for a hold, which is going to bring that back. Good effort by our offensive line again for the second week in a row. I thought we had a good offensive game from our line. We're going to come back and run a little razzle-dazzle here. One of next year's quarterbacks and junior quarterback Bo Reynolds in at Z, and we're going to try a little 8-stretch reverse pass there. Slip something on them maybe to break something open. Second half. 3rd down and 10. We come out, a little play action. Run a little deep curl there to Cornelius Strickland, senior flanker. Also had our tight end Jared Ramey out in the flat for a big first down. Come back here, we're going to run a little crack option into the boundary. We don't run much option. That's really a double option. It's either quarterback keeping or pitching the ball, and pitches out to speedy junior Tim Childress for a nice gain of about 7-8 yards. Come back and run Con-X, tight end, flanker, and wide out. 35 power there. Good run for about 4.5 yards. Come up here in the gun, and they were really playing soft against the gun, so we decided to take it outside. Gives the ball to Tino with that great speed. He gets out, gets a great block there from LaMarcus Tucker. Just a good job. 2 good crack blocks from our wide outs and LaMarcus Tucker. Very unselfish senior fullback. Great block on the perimeter. Come back and run the stretch play again. Nice blocking outside there by Cornelius Strickland for his cousin, Timmy Childress. He bounces outside and goes about 10, and we're ripping some huge chunks of yards here. And nice drive to open the second half. A little play action there to Timbo, and Kyle cranks it around and throws a deep void route to Cornelius, and that just shows how far Cornelius has come, a former tailback, and making that great catch out there and setting us up in position for a quick 33 lead. He gets in the end zone, makes it 20-0, and the kick is up and through to put us in good shape starting the second half at 21-0.
We got it teed up again. And something else I might add, back to the coin toss. Most teams would like to defend the scoreboard if they get the opportunity at the start of the game or the start of a half, because you'll want to go towards the scoreboard as the game's ending or as the half's coming to an end, because most high school fields will only have one scoreboard. There you see a short kick, and again Mason Reeves and a host of other Pioneers in on the tackle, and they get the ball up around their own 40-yard line. And good job out here. Ricky Richardson goes out here and takes the man on the flare route, and again they try to throw the short dump, and Clark Baker there, spine in the middle, makes the tackle. Actually a complete pass for no gain there. They come back second long, good heat from the outside there by LaMarcus and Ricky, and he throws down the field, and Patrick Smith jumps over in front and picks it off as Hunter Platt wipes out the receiver, and Patrick makes a nice return here and returns it up over the 50-yard line near the Morrilton 40.
Great field position. Nice high five there. 2 senior wide out. Yeah, it is.
You better be ready to jump. You're going to give Patrick a high five.
Yeah. We go a little double post here and don't get a turn protection for our backside. It's something we're going to have to work really hard on, because we're going to get a lot of heat this week from Bologna. Sets us up at the second 20. We get a little jet motion here from our tailback. Run 41 zone trap, and it's not going anywhere. Get a no gain. Sets up a 3rd and 20, and after a great first drive, we're kind of stalling here, even though we had great field position. Motion here from Cornelius Strickland. We run the bubble out here and don't get much help on the outside. Make about a yard. It's going to set us up with a 4th and long, and we punt the football. Sophomore Evan Erie punting the ball. Good coverage there by Hunter Platt. Jason Angel. Had to repunt there. We had one of our young men out of position, so we had to repunt it. Again, Evan comes back and puts that ball down there about the 14-yard line. Again, good coverage by our punt group.
They lost about 4 yards on that, even after the penalty.
We come back here and run that little Will Stack ghost stunt we were talking about, putting in at half, and Tim Childress steps up and drops it back, along with help from the outside by Ricky Richardson. Again, we get good heat on the quarterback, and he steps up and throws it over the receiver. Good coverage there by Hunter Platt down the field, and it brings up the third down long. Good job this week. Secondary played well. Coach Miller did a good job getting them ready. Coach King and Coach Rhodes did an excellent job with the outside linebackers, and there again, we're coming back and running that same stunt again, and Timmy comes through and drops the quarterback for a big loss.
Thought we had good heat on him all night, Coach, and really shook up that junior quarterback. He's going to be a good one for Morrilton. He just, we had some bombs going off around him, and it shook him up on more than one occasion. Again, we got to work on catching that football on the punt. Again, great field position on our side of the 50. We're going to run 60 here, and this is the unglamorous part of being a quarterback. They're going to bring a little heat off the side here. We don't do a good job picking it up. And Kyle gets a little DDT there, clothesline. Kyle's awfully tough. He's had a few of those hits, and it's kind of part of the package there. We'll come back with a little Connex W zig. Coming in quick motion here with Coordinator Strickland. We get a quick handoff. He flicks it back to senior wideout Patrick Smith, who shows his good speed around in. Gets a great block. You better put that in the video archives. There's Kyle Francis blocking, Coach, well down the field.
Nice job. Stayed after that job.
He sure did. Come back here and on a little counter flu. They bring an extra man off the corner. Probably a real bad call there on my part. Sets up the situation, and we're going to have to punt. And we get a snap back there, and Evan just took his eye off him momentarily. Lost his shoe. And
nowhere to run to, baby.
No, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
They come back and throw a power eye on us right here. And our kids did a good job adjusting. They called the strength to the power back, just like we had done earlier in the year when we were just working on base sets and stuff, and stepped up in the hole and stopped it. Jarrett Ramey, Tim Childers, Kyle McMullen. Here's some good heat. Ricky Richardson's going to put him in a Bethesda sling, but he gets away. And good tackle down there by LaMarcus Tucker and Kyle McMullen and Raleigh Thomas. They run a quad set down here to the bottom now, and this is a short yardage, and they're going for it.
Big hit.
From the outside, that was Antonio McCoy, the real McCoy. Comes through and puts a big lick on him, and it's recovered by Ricky Richards. So Patrick Smith there saw that ball land there, and he was about to pick it up and score with it, and Ricky grabbed it real fast, and we're going to take over. We
start running the stretch thing here, and we probably one of our best plays as far as the one we run the best. We got two good tailbacks, great blocking outside, quick side, Kevin Smith, Clayton O'Neill, our flanker, Cornelius Strickland, wide out. We come right back and run the same thing to the other side. Timmy Childers, we give him a little dose of Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, two outstanding tailbacks. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. We scored 21-0, and it doesn't take us long to get on the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. We got a second and short. We decide to get in the same set. Instead of running the stretch, we're going to run the counter backside. And Timmy Childers hits it like it's supposed to be hit. Great blocking up front from the offensive line. Bo Gould, Jarrett Ramey, Andy Rogers, Zach Matthews, Clayton O'Neill, and Kevin Smith do a great job opening a huge hole there. And boy, Timmy knows what to do when he gets in that secondary. Kind of disappointed here. We're up 27-0, and we just relaxed there. We had two guys relax and didn't do a good job on our protection, but it puts us up 27-0.
We're teeing it up here to kick off again, and you see this week the B in the middle of the field. Coach Rhodes lays that B out, does a good job, and this week Mr. T.J. Lazy came up and painted that Pioneers on the field for us.
Coach, he free-handed that, didn't he?
He free-handed that thing. He sure did.
You guys got a little talent.
This time Mason Reeves does a good job stepping up. He's a left-footed kicker, so that's really good to have him on the right side, and he pooches it down there. James Neal in pursuit. Mason barely misses him. He goes up the sideline, and he's finally run out of bounds over there, I believe.
Had a clip right there in front of their bench, Coach. They didn't call.
Corey Hughes helps run him out of bounds over there. They're going out of the gun now. They're behind, and we put heat on them. And Timmy Childers drops him. Help from Ricky Richardson. Timmy's starting to get to the quarterback now. Again, we're bringing people, and they throw a little swing pass out here, and Marcus comes up, takes on the block, and he missed a few there, but good recovery there by Marcus, and a good job there by sophomore Cody Headley, who was in the game there at nose guard, coming across and helping make the play along with Jarrett Ramey. Come back again, he's going to roll. Ricky Richardson in pursuit, and Antonio McCoy comes across and drops him with one arm. It's going to bring up a fourth believe, a fourth down here. And again, we get good pressure from LaMarcus Tucker. He hits the quarterback hard. Marcus Sanchez covering over there along with Aaron Havelka, and we're going to take over.
Come right back, run the stretch play again. Tino gets outside, good blocking downfield. We have one of our wideouts got tackled out of bounds kind of roughly, and he took exception and pushed him. And as we always tell him, the second guy is the one that gets caught. And he got caught and cost us 15 yards, which is a play that we can't afford to have. But in football, it's always the second man that gets caught. Come back and run 41 zone trap here on a 1st and 10. LaMarcus Tucker, senior fullback, breaks out a little too wide. No gain on the play. Come up in 60 here, and we're in a twins formation. Over by the middle of the field. Kyle puts that ball down in the middle and had a little heat there and just slightly overthrows Cornelius. We're going to come back here, a little razzle-dazzle, just give the opposition something to work on. We'll run a pitch play out there to Tino, and he hands back to junior wideout Mason Reeves. Gets a great block there from Clayton O'Neill and just barely gets caught. Let number 2 man outside. Sets us up in a punt situation. We get the snap. Evan Erie does a good job getting that punt away. Got good coverage downfield. And again, inside the 20-yard line, we're going to have to punt the ball again. Had one of our guys missing on the punt. Evan comes right back and shows he can do it again. Punts it down there around the 20. And great coverage by Hunter Plant, sophomore free safety who plays on our special teams.
Morrilton's going to take over here again deep in their own territory. And he's going to throw down the middle and find a man open here before he's going to be dropped there by Hunter Platt. It's a 1st down. And operating, they go in quads down here to the bottom of the field. Naked gun. They bring the heat again. And James Neal barely misses him there. Stay after him. Finally, he gets tripped up there, and a good job there from Clark Baker, Ricky Richardson, Jarrett, Aaron Havelka in the ball game. Come at him again. They're going to dump it over the middle, and Clark Baker again. They're almost to deflect the ball. Did a good job spying from his nose guard position. Again, we're after him, and he's going to keep the ball this time. And there's Timmy, and LaMarcus Tucker lays a big hit on him. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Again, at this point in the game, they're going for it. Running out of the quads. He's going to throw out here. It's going to be knocked down there by Cornelius Strickland, but they're going to call us for pass interference here. They knocked the guy down the field, and it's going to give them a new life. And 1st down, they run a swing pass. We'll probably drop a little too deep there. And good job, though, as Marcus Sanchez comes up and drops a man from his cornerback position. Marcus making his 2nd straight start at corner. And we're going to get a timeout there, and they're going to come back now on 2nd down and short. Going to fake the bubble, come back with a middle screen. And Tim Childress does a good job reading it. Clark is there also, and did a good job there as well from Ricky Richardson and Aaron Havelka in the game now playing the Mike Backer position. And we're coming at him, and a good lick again there from LaMarcus. And Hunter Platt with the coverage. It's incomplete. 3rd down now and long. Throws down the middle and almost picked off there this time by Marcus Sanchez. Bounces off his shoulder pad, and it's going to be a 4th down. They're going to pick this up. We're actually bringing too many people here. We're a little confused. We left the flats open on the backside here, and they completed it and missed one tackle. And he breaks up and gets the 1st down before Tim Childress runs him down from behind and drops him. Again, it's going to keep their drive alive. They're running quads up at the top. Time's clicking off here. Timmy comes in, gives a good heat. We got to get off that block out there, and Hunter Platt comes up and puts a big lick on him. Getting good pressure. Cornelius almost knocks that ball down, and Aaron Havelka scrapes the middle linebacker and drops the man for a couple yards gain, but it's a 1st down. Getting good heat on him. He completes out here in the flats. We converge on him as Raleigh Thomas, Patrick Smith, Hunter Platt. They're going to get us for a late hit there, though, on that play. And they'll move them down closer to the goal line. They're inside the 5-yard line now. And they're going to come here and try to run a little draw play. And, boy, he's really nailed there by Tim Childress and Jarrett Ramey for a little bit of a loss there. They got 2nd down now and goal. He throws in the flats over here. They pick us out there on a little pick play, and he finds a man, and they're on the scoreboard here with under a minute to go in the ball game. Going for a 2-point conversion here, and he's going to throw it over here right to Antonio. Goes through Antonio's hands, and Patrick Smith's going to intercept it. 40 seconds to go.
Lined up, we knew we were going to get onside. We put our good hands out there, and a great job by, I believe that was Mason Reeves covering that ball on the side. And at this point, we got Bo Reynolds, junior quarterback, in there. We're going to run a stretch play to Crazy Leg Smith, and you'll see why he's Crazy Legs. He's not going to go gently into the night. Loses about 4 yards, but gives us great effort. And that's going to make the final score 27-6, Pioneers.
Pioneers get their second victory of the season with a 27-6 victory over Morrilton. And Coach, at the break we talked about the fact that good championship teams are going to overcome adversity, and I thought the team did that on a couple of occasions Friday night.
We did. I think our defense, Coach Smith challenged the defense on the sidelines a couple times when we snapped the ball over our head and gave it up to him on a punt. And then another time when we turned the ball over down there and on our end of the field. So I think the defense came through, just did a great job. I'd have to give them a very high grade as far as just character and what they showed in the ball game to keep us, on top in the ball game. We could have gave up a short score there, 2 or 3 different times. Offensively, we had 2 long drives and did a good job on both of those of over 10 plays. The things we've got to cut down on to beat the quality teams that we need to beat are things such as the bad snaps and the busted assignments. But I can see our kids coming together as a team. We're getting great senior leadership. They're doing a great job, very unselfish play. And, this game is one we've been pointing for a long time, about 365 days to be exact. So, the kids realize that this week is what we've been working for, and I feel good about where we're at going into this week.
And this team has such high expectations of itself, but in reality, we're not going to be ahead 42-6 every time we go out.
No, we're not. And, again, and I tell the kids this, without high expectations, it's hard to achieve. I mean, if you're setting the bar right here, it's hard to get right here. And we set the bar awful high. We've challenged our kids. We want to win a district championship, and by golly, we want to win a state championship. And the only way you can do that is to throw that out there. And when you do that, sometimes you're a little vulnerable because people are going to take shots at you and give you their best shot, and that's what we want. And our kids at this point have done a good job. Their work ethic has been great. I know this week in practice, we're going to probably have the best week of practice we've had. And we're going to be ready for the challenge.
Pioneers defeat Morrilton 27-6. We'll be back right after these messages to talk about the Bologna Eagles. They'll be coming to town Friday night, first conference ball game of the year. Back after these messages.
Batesville Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by Batesville Cold Storage, serving the Batesville area for 10 years. Independence Ford Mercury, sales, leasing, service, and parts. White River Insurance Agency, a tradition of insurance excellence since 1953. And Batesville Glass, commercial, residential, and auto.
Sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Townsend's, pleased to support Pioneer Football. Autry's White River Furniture Company, we love customers. ConAgra, working hard to become America's favorite food company. And Stanley Wood Chevrolet Pontiac, Scott Wood Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Other sponsors of Pioneer Football 2003, Settles Cleaners, let us do your dirty work. GDX Automotive, go Pioneers. Mazzio's Pizza, try our lunch buffet, 11 to 2 every day. WRMC Pros, proud to provide professional sports medicine services to the BHS Athletic Department. And Charlie's Menswear, largest selection of jeans in the area. Shop us for quality selection at quality prices.
And also sponsoring Pioneer Football 2003, Independence County Abstract Company, Glendale McMullen and Cynthia Nicholson, serving the people of Independence County for over 60 years. Kelly White's Restaurant, buffets every day at lunch and Friday and Saturday nights. Van Atkins, your locally owned family department store, proudly serving the Batesville area for over 50 years.
Pioneer Football 2003 also brought to you by White Rogers and Emerson Climate Technologies Company. Sonic Drive-In Family Night Special, 1/2 price single patty burgers, 5 to close, Tuesdays at 715 St. Louis Street and 2950 Harrison. Also, Pioneer Football 2003 brought to you by the VFW Post 4501 Batesville.
And sponsoring Batesville Pioneer Football 2003, Thompson's Jewelry, downtown Batesville. Quality jewelry since 1924 at Thompson's. Wildwood Independent Living Center, where senior citizens can live in comfortable surroundings while maintaining their independence. Riverside Mobile Homes at the top of Ramsey Mountain, family owned and operated since 1989. Nora's Boutique and Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio, for more than the ordinary. And by First Community Bank, the cornerstone of our community.
Pioneers will be back at Pioneer Stadium Friday night to entertain the Bologna Eagles. And Stuart Smith, this is the first conference ball game of the year, and this is what it's all about.
Well, as Coach said earlier, we've been looking at this ball game for a long time. Bologna last year actually stunned us when we went in there. It was their first, first 4A East Conference game, and we didn't know a lot about them. And they came out and we had them down early, but their players were really resilient and came back and put it on us pretty good, especially from the defensive standpoint. I felt that it was probably our worst game of the season. And this is going to be their first trip into Pioneer Stadium. Next year they're going back to the 4A West, so it could be their last game into Pioneer Stadium. So, I hope we have a great crowd comes out and watches this ball game and gives us some great support, because I know our kids are going to be ready to play this ball game. Bologna, looking at them from the defensive side of the football, it's quite a contrast to what we played this week. This week against Morrilton, they had us spread out, and now Morrilton is going to bring it right in there compact. Their fullback's going to be about 2 yards off the quarterback, and they're going to run a lot of misdirection plays and the zone trap, and it's going to be quite a challenge. And then I know that our kids are ready to rise up to it, and and Coach King can talk a little bit about them defensively, but it's going to be a good ball game, and this is a big game for us. It's a big game for them, and for us to win the 4A East, we're going to need to beat the Bologna Eagles on Friday night.
Coach King, do y'all prepare any differently for that conference opener than you do, say, for a Morrilton?
Well, you always try and point to that first conference game, because that's the opening of the season as far as we're concerned in conference, and it's a big game because Bologna is so highly rated. They come in 3-0, they're undefeated, very highly thought of throughout the state, and they run that power-oriented game like coaches already spoke to, and defensively they're going to line up and just bring the house at times, and it's going to be real important for us offensively just to go out and prepare and really be focused on what we're going to see Friday night and cut down on our mental mistakes. I think that's, to this point, I've been very pleased with many parts of our offense. But again, if we can stay away from the big negative play and the penalties, our shotgun snaps, Zach Matthews has come a long way. It's really, and I've talked to Zach at length about this, it's hard to be a lineman plus snap that ball on a shotgun snap. And Zach has really hung in there and done a great job and got so much better in 2 games. It's unbelievable. With the 4th game actually coming up, our whole offensive line has just gotten better every week. So it's just really important that we stay focused this week and know what's at stake. And as Coach has said, 4A East District Championship is going to go through Batesville one way or the other. Because we've got the 2 big guns at home in Batesville. So if you want to see some exciting football and see 2 different brands of, I guess, football, when you look at it from a fan's point of view, Friday night you'll see that in Pioneer Stadium.
And we should mention to the fans that we really need them this Friday night for that first conference ball game. You mentioned it earlier in the program, what it does for the kids, and it will help. Could make a difference in the ball game.
It's a big boost. It just really is. I mean, I can't say enough about that. A lot of times in a game like this, I mean, I tell the kids, this is why we play. I mean, you don't play to play some of the teams that maybe will be 0-10 or 1-9, and we've got our program on a level where we're starting to get recognized now throughout the state, and maybe too much so. I saw we ranked 6th in one poll, 4th in one, and some guy from the Gazette actually had us number 1. So, that's great for our kids, but this is why you play the game. You don't play for the polls. You don't play for the newspaper. It's just about, you cross the white line against another good team, and you get after it about 7:30 on Friday night, and this is why we play. This is why we did all that weightlifting, running, and all that preparation in off-season, and some of our kids are like elephants. I saw somebody stuck 35-25 up in the locker room already this weekend, and it didn't take me long to realize what that meant, and I don't think it'll take some other kids very long either. So it's going to be a good game, and we're looking forward to it.
We invite you to be at Pioneer Stadium Friday night as the Pioneers open conference season against the Bologna Eagles. And we invite you to be with us again next week for Pioneer Football 2003. We'll see you next week.